Awesome. Thank you, Daryl, for joining me and for taking the time. I know you're super busy, but I want to start with a question.
All right.
Did you ever believe that you could build a six-figure online business?
No, not in a million years because I guess I still just kind of look at myself like I'm just a regular old country boy from Tennessee. I come from a big family, 14 siblings, seven boys, seven girls, and just I grew up in the projects in Missouri, and we just you just never even like this is just something that is like I would have never thought in a million years I would even be not even have a job, let alone earn that type of income. So this is it's definitely been a blessing.
So let me ask you this. Where were you? What was going on in your life prior to discovering the Legacy Builders program?
Oh, okay. So first of all, and guys, if I'm Daryl Hannah, just in case you guys don't know who I am. I'm married. I have two kids. Both of them are off in college. But before I even came into before I found the Legacy Builders program, and before I even had anything to do with the online space, I worked years as a welder, just a regular old blue collar factory worker, 12-hour days. This is all I've known all my life. Forklifts, the typical blue collar 9 to 5, trading time for money, just struggling, paycheck to paycheck, just I mean, just what jobs do. And, after giving a job all these years, you know, what happened is that I end up losing my job. They called me into the office on a Tuesday, a day that I was expecting to work till Sunday because everything was due. And, being someone who was a foreman over six other welders, I kind of had status at the job, or at least you think you have that when you've been there forever. But I found out real quickly. I got called to the office, and basically, the same people who paying three employee of the month awards on me is the same people that taught me to the office and told me they were moving in another direction, and my department wasn't coming, and you figure if you've been there for a long time, they would move you somewhere, but I realized quickly that seniority is just a thing of the past, but it put me in such a bad spot because again, like I'm the breadwinner. I've got children. It was just a tough spot. And the crazy part about it is that I remember going outside of my car and I'm just sitting outside the gate and I've got my palms in my hands and I'm bawling like a 2-year old and I'm just trying to figure out what's my next move,
Mhm.
and of course, after a couple changes, guys, I caught myself separated from my family and three for the next 3 weeks I had spent sleeping in my car in the woods, out by a lake. Just dark period in my life, depressed and just going through emotions and stuff that I'd never been through because I guess I just looked at it like I had given this job everything, like my whole life. I sacrificed years and memories and stuff that I can't get back with my kids because they were small and to make this company work and make the millions of dollars and they did that to me. And I guess the big thing for me was that nobody called and checked up on me. And but after spending 3 weeks there, of course, I ended up spending another 11 months in a homeless shelter, and that was the reality check for me. And That's what basically prompted me and told me, hey, there's got to be more to life than this. I just told myself I just didn't want to put my hands and my I didn't want to put everything into the hands of someone who put their pants leg on one leg at a time like me and give them the power at any given time to come in there and just snap their fingers for whatever reason, and now my only source of income is gone. And so I went looking, Michelle. I went looking for ways to make money, and I went on YouTube and I searched and I found a variety of things, and nothing really stuck. Yeah, I was working two jobs here, working side hustles. I did everything, and then I became a life insurance agent because I love to help people. And of course, that was no different because I was working 12 hours a day, still making way less money, less time, and it was just stressful. And before I found this program was I coming into 2024. We always say the same thing: new year, new me. We're excited about the upcoming year because it's a fresh year, and I was the same way. The only difference is that I came in with -$6.34 in the bank. Um, we were about, we were about to get evicted. My wife's car was about to get repoed. We were actually hiding the car behind the house. They would come by looking for the car. My daughter wasn't even staying at home because we didn't have groceries in the house. She was staying at a friend of hers, and it was it was a tough period. And that was around about January the 6th. And then, of course, January the 13th, while I was in a lady's house helping her with life insurance. I was waiting for HIPAA to approve her, and we're always just scrolling on our phones. And I was scrolling, and I came across a post that was talking about how to generate an income, how a lady generated a certain amount of like $600 or something like that with a couple amount of something. I think it was like $600 or something like that in a couple of hours, and it just piqued my interest. And I was like, "What is this?" Right? So I reached out to her, and I got the information. That's when I saw you, and I told my wife after watching it, I was like, man, like I went to her and when I told her, I say, I'm gonna try this. And of course, she's known me to be a risk taker because I've done everything and we've just been through so much. And she just thought it was just another, another phase I was going through. But I just saw something that she did. And it was when I listened to you, I was like, man, I just believe her, the community, just so much. And I just bet on myself. I said, I have nothing. And I didn't have anything, Michelle. So I told myself, well, I have nothing, so I have nothing to lose. And I took
Mm.
with $7,000 worth of outgoing expenses, and I had $500 to my name with $6 of that in the actually less than that. I joined the program, and I didn't have all the money, so I used the payment plan, and that was where it all started right there for me. And I was just a never even heard of digital marketing, just a complete beginner, just someone who was just I was just sick and tired. I was fed up.
So when did you realize like that this is going to work?
I think the when I think that now you got to think like I was still doing life insurance, so I'm working 60 hours a week. I'm going in at 7, getting off at 7:30. I'm coming home. My wife is fixing dinner. I'm showering. I'm doing all that, and like I'm like in the training, so I'm up at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Like I'm just trying to speed up my process. I'm watching tons of videos of you and just a variety of other people, and so I started plugging into the free ads. That's why I started plugging into the free ads. And in my third day, someone came in at the 300. And I'm thinking like, are you serious? Because I mean, it's almost like that people are making money online, but like it just hits different when it's actually you. And I was actually driving when that came in, so because I know we talked about the automated system, and I'm thinking like I just made $300. That's more than what I make work. That's almost more than what I make working 60 hours a week. And and then of course I think like I think it's like a couple more days after that, I ended up making like $300 more dollars, so that's $600 in less than a week. And I hadn't worked out, I was still doing it part-time. I think that's when it clicked in because I was still learning, Michelle. I was still just going through the training. I had barely had my website up and stuff up and going. So I think that was when the part when it hit me like, okay, now it's just all about just really, really digging down and really, really trying to learn what this program can teach me.
So if we fast forward to today, how much have you made?
I just know I'm over 600 grand. It is unreal. And I want to say this as well because I know I didn't say this. The light bulb moment that really stuck in my head because I remember thinking like, man, if I could just make like an extra $600, I could get my wife's car up out of the repo before them from repoing because we were so far behind, like 5 months. And but my first 4 months, the month of February, I'm making like $8,000. That's when I started TikTok. I wasn't even on TikTok, so I wasn't even on social media like that. I'm really just winging it. And but when I made that 8 grand, I started my TikTok, and then of course I ended up hitting six figures in 4 months. I think that was just like, and of course my breakout month is when we actually got ready to launch it in April. I ended up making like 38 grand. And my website was down for like 5 days, so I didn't even get to finish from the 27th to the end of the month. But it's almost just unreal because again, I'm just a country boy. I'm just a nobody. I mean, not a nobody, but like I don't really. It's just hard to even believe that I'm in this position, and it has allowed me to do so much. I was thinking about this sharing it with my wife. I'm like, babe, we've made $600,000 in a little bit over
Wow.
2 years. We just and the first 500 or so thousand or around that I we built it in a 800 square foot house. Like that's where I started, and we got up out of there. Now we moved to this house 5 hours away, a lot bigger. We have no debt really. Just I'm talking about it's just freedom. It's just the best thing. Like it is like Thursday and I'm not even at work. That I'm sitting here trying to sometimes I catch myself thinking like this doesn't even seem real. But again, I'm just grateful. Just blessed to be here and grateful that when I saw the opportunity, I took advantage of it.
What skill, because there's many different skills that you learn inside the Legacy Builders program. What skill do you think it was for you that got you to really just drive and execute to achieve that type of income?
Well, I think what helped me also is that, I really I really love to study,
Mhm.
but I think the skills for me is just understanding emotion, understanding how people feel and being relatable to people. So, and then I love to talk. So I think that kind of helps me a little bit, but just learning that people are dealing with real life experiences. People are going through things. There's things that people are struggling with, and just learning how to create content and talk to people in a way that's relatable, in a way where they can look at me and be like, man, he's talking exactly to me. Like that's me. That he's talking to me because I think when you get to that point, and that is a skill, that's something you have to learn how to create because everybody can't do that. And that's where you put them in their own shoes and make them realize, man, I got to get out of this position. Like I'm not in a good place because sometimes we get caught up into just everyday routine and we really forget how tough it is out here and the things that we're dealing with. And sometimes when you speak and when you've been through experiences and you're sharing that with other people and they can see themselves in you because they're dealing with those right now, I think that has been like the best skill that I have learned as far because everything else you learn in the program, but like just being able to be a communicator and someone who can really speak another person's language, and put them in a position where they're like, man, that's me, that's what I'm dealing with, and everybody's looking for a solution, and so and it's the good thing about this program, it helps solve those problems.
Yeah, well, that's so good. So you started making an income, right? And now you've launched your own community. You're
Yes.
making very good six figures. You'll be a self-made millionaire this year. How does that feel when I say that?
Oh my God. I made a post about that when I hit the 600 mark. I was like, just because I said, I'm not even going to make any posts about my income until I hit that mark. And just saying that out loud, it almost sounds surreal.
It is.
Like it almost just seems, and you hear about people making that, but just for you, you just, I don't know. It's just, it's almost like a dream in a sense. Like it's unreal.
Yeah, it is. So you launched your own community. First of all, I'd love for you to share your community. If you want to share your screen, show them your community. But why did you decide to launch your own community? And I just want to add this. This is something I love about this program is because of the skills and the knowledge that people gain. It helps you just have multiple income streams. So this is your community. I love it.
Absolutely. So I launched this community, Michelle. I was thinking about launching this community back here around about November of 2024. I told myself I caught momentum and I saw people were struggling with a variety of things, creating content, getting leads, building a connection, being relatable. And I was like, you know what? I want to create a community where, and of course people were struggling. I said, I want to create a community where I can help people become freedom builders. And this is the reason why I called it freedom builders. And I got this off of you because you inspired me to do this. I said, I want to help create 1,000 freedom builders. That means I want to help educate, implement whatever I can do, however way I can do it with the skills and experience that I have to help create 1,000 freedom builders. That means 1,000 men and 1,000 women. I want to help them generate an income of at least $10,000 a month. And
Love
I
it.
think if they can do that, I think it's just going to completely transform their lives. So that is the reason why I decided to create this community so that they can learn the skills or enhance the skills they already have and be able to escape the 9 to 5 grind and know what it feels like to generate a 5 figure a month consistent income. And now my community has almost 1,000 members, but if I had a lot of spammers, guys. It's a long. This thing would probably have over 3,000 if I hadn't started it over and
Right.
but there's just tons of again like and what I love to do, Michelle, in this community is that I adore everyone. And it doesn't matter if they generate $100 or 1,400. I praise them, I salute them because I just want to inspire them. And I love to coach, I love to teach, and I love to mentor. And but this is the inside of it. So when people like, let's say when they come in, um, hold up. so I got like a little video right here where I'm just kind of introducing myself. I'm talking. They can also read as far as like what my goal is here, which is to, of course, I want them to learn how to, so they're able to fire their boss and generate a 10K per month, just working a couple hours. I'm just introducing myself and just kind of giving them a brief description of my story. And then up here is where I've learned how to create all my trainings and stuff like that, where you can start here. This is just why I launched this community, of course. This one right here, I'm letting them know the program that allowed me to make 100K. And then just kind of course, community rules and stuff like that. And then there's just tons of trainings. This is one where I'm sharing my story. This is a photo of me where the shelter that I lived in, my
Wow.
actual bank statement of negative $6.34 on March this in
Wow.
January. And then, of course, I'm just kind of sharing my story where they can see that's me with a welder outfit. I'm sharing my story. It's really emotional. I almost got teared up just thinking about that. And then, of course, this right here is where a lot of people come to me because I'm really good at storytelling, they say. And so this is like more like a one-on-one coaching where I get on a Zoom with them for about 30 minutes and just show them how to, structure their content. I have a model that I go by that allows them to create content, use a hook, to stop the scroll, and be relatable because that's what people are looking for. They want to know, do you know what I'm dealing with? And so I teach them how to do that. And then, of course, this is my mentor my inner circle mentoring program. We do a training every Saturday at 11 a.m. As you can see, the first one was January the 11th of last year, and
Love it.
I mean, there's one every week all the way until the one we just did just this past Saturday. And so it's just so good to just see people, you teach people and you're able to educate them and mentor them. And then, of
Hmm.
course, just some of the other things like mindset training, just different things along the way, from marketing to storytelling, just providing them with just different types of even
Love
books,
it.
just and even some of my lives. Like I'll go live. People say, "Hey man, I want you to share your live." So I started doing that, but just a variety of stuff that I can do for them. Great, great trainings in here, and then of course, here of course is a lot of the wins. I just love to shout out people. From
Hmm.
and one of the best things that I really love was I got an email. I got a couple that came through my training the other day, like 2 days ago, brand new, and they went through the training and just yesterday they sent me an email and was like, "Hey, Daryl, we just got our first Spanish bundle pack 1,400." I mean, it just shows you like this is like the best thing, like and but this is what I love to do. I just have a passion for just helping people and I just want to give them everything. I just want to show them, be able to, oh, I don't know what happened with that. Oh, shoot. Hold up.
So I have a question while you're doing that. Did you ever think you would have your own community and support people if you go back 2 years ago?
No, not even remotely close. I can remember when you were doing the community builders, and I'm thinking like, there's just no way I'm gonna be able to, like, how am I gonna come up with like, I mean, it was just so overwhelming. But and then I just, it just kind of hit me after watching a lot of the things that you do and a couple other people. I just told myself, I said, well, Daryl, just teach people what you've learned. Like, teach people what you want them to know. So in my mind, I told myself, Michelle, I said, well, if I want them to be able to generate an income of six figures with this program because it can allow them to do that, I said, well, I'm going to share with them the things that I experienced and what I went through and what I had to get access to put them in that position. So that's why like it's good to see people like Christina who's in my community. She done been up under my coaching as well, and of course yours as well. But it's just so good to see her because she did a coaching call with me back here last year, and just to see her take off like that is just been amazing. But I just love this community, and I'll build it until, like you said, until I just hit that 1,000 freedom builders. Like I don't care how long it takes, and I believe I'm going to. I just really do because I just have a passion for this, and I look forward waking up every day where I get to just give them value and just answer their questions and just show up for them every day. And they tell me I'm awesome, man. But it's just something that I love to do, and I'm just grateful for even being this opportunity.
So here's my question for you. Who have you become through this process? If you look at the Daryl Hannah through these last, what, 2 years and 1 month, who have you become through the process?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that I've just realized how humble I am and grateful.
Mm.
I've realized that I've never made this type of income in all of my life, and my birthday is next is Saturday. I've never made this type of income, but I'm just still humble. Like it's just humbling, and what how I look at it, Michelle, is that God has given me an opportunity, has put me in this position to be able to help people that can't even help themselves. And I catch myself being in grocery stores or at gas stations. And sometimes I'm thinking, like, I'm hoping they don't have the money so I can help them. It's just something that I've done. And it has allowed me to grow as a father. It is, I mean, it's kind of hard to explain because it's almost like this is what I've always wanted for my life, but I just didn't have a vehicle to get me here. And I never even thought it was possible outside of working two or three jobs and if you're lucky, just saving, and saving, but it's just done changed so much for me. It's almost hard for me to put it into a specific word. It's just done I mean, I tell people tell me all the time, man, you don't even look the same. Like you don't even act the same. And I think it's just the maturity of growing into a business owner and being a professional and how you carry yourself with grace. And and people can tell when you're a leader and you respect people and it just kind of takes care of itself. And
Yep.
it's kind of hard to explain, but it's just a great feeling. It's a great position to be in, and I wouldn't change it for nothing.
Love it. So, somebody that's watching this right now, and if they're listening to you, they're like, oh my gosh, this sounds amazing, but they don't think they can do it. What would you say to them right now?
I would just tell them you just gotta take a risk. You gotta bet on yourself because and the reason why I say this, Michelle, is because and I like always it all starts with me. I'm a
Mhm.
college dropout. Guys, I'm just a regular factory worker, guys. I couldn't even tell you where my diploma is at. I have no idea. But the fact that the program, Michelle, the reason why I said they just need to start because it is so simplified. It's so laid out. And I've had tons of I have been a part of so many I've been a part of everything. And this is the best program not only I've been a part of, but it's just so simple. And the way that it's broken down and how you do it. But I would just encourage them to just take action. Why? Because you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You have a community of over 59,000 or close to 59,000 of other like-minded men and women just like you who want the same thing. We all want more time with our families, more freedom to travel, just be able to just wake up and knowing that we don't have the pressure of going off to a job where someone controls our income and at any given time can take that from us. We have ownership. And the fact that you're going to be able to learn that and be able to get coached and mentored by some of the best people who have really good skills and just get your questions answered and not only that, learn a skill that doesn't require you punching the clock. That's the best thing and generating income from your phone in a world that's digital. I mean, you just got to just go for it because again, like I look at it like between 12 months, we're gonna be done spent so much money on just
Yeah.
random stuff that ain't gonna put not one nickel in our bank accounts. And so that's why it was a no-brainer for me because I'm like, I've spent so much money on crazy stuff. So now I have an opportunity to learn something that's taught by a self-made millionaire or created by a self-made millionaire that could possibly even make me a millionaire. And I'm just looking at hoping I can make $600 a month if I'm lucky. And here I am over 600 grand. So like I'm telling you, like, and there's no monthly fees. It's just a one investment and it's beyond affordable. We got all types of installment plans and everything. And you have to look at where you want to go. I want to,
Mhm.
and I want to share this, Michelle. And this made me emotional. I was on a call, and this is why another reason why I'm glad I joined. This lady, she was like 67. She was in this business. She was on a call and she was like, she asked me if I knew my grandfather. And I was like, no. She said, do you know? She said, you want to know why? And I was like, no. She said, because he didn't leave you anything.
Mm.
And it just hit me. I'm like, she said, and I don't want to be like that. She said, when I leave this world, I want my grandchildren to know, hey, I did this for them. If it wasn't for grandma, I wouldn't be here. And I mean, it almost made me cry because that's how I
Mhm.
am. Like, I don't want to leave. We have so much access to the world is digital and social media. And all we need now is to learn the training and the skills. And I don't want to leave this world. I want to leave a legacy. That's why I love the name that you gave this program, a legacy. I'm always talking about that. But you just got to understand that you deserve more. You deserve more than just be working 40 to 60 hours a week for one check that you have to wait on 7 to 14 days to get.
Mm.
You deserve the freedom and time, and all you need to do is surround yourself with people who can help you get to that level. But you got to get the education and the information to be able to do that. So I
Yeah.
just encourage people just bet on yourself. I can
Mm.
promise you, there's nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain, in my opinion. I have not lost anything,
And you've gained a lot,
and I've gained a lot.
not only financially, but just
It's just
the person you become.
Absolutely. It's just again, like it's weird how it works, but it's just you just start hanging around with people who just elevate you, and they just rub up on you, their aura, their personality, just their charisma, everything, and it just transforms you. You walk different, you look different, you act different, you talk different,
Mhm.
and people treat you different.
Yep.
And that's the thing, and it's just gonna open up so many other opportunities for you. That's
Yeah,
the good thing. So
definitely. So one other question, can people get inside your community for free?
absolutely. Free to get
Okay.
inside the community. It's called the Freedom Builder Circle.
Well, I'm going to put the link to your community in the description so they can get
Awesome, awesome.
your
Glad to
community.
have you. I mean, just again,
And
like,
your social media profiles, I will put that
yes,
in the description that somebody
awesome.
can access as well.
Same name on all of the platforms. Daryl Hannah. I can be found everywhere.
Love it.
Facebook,
Love it.
TikTok, Instagram, all of those. Just super excited. I just want to build it out, Michelle. I want people to know what this program has done, what it can do for them, and how it can change their life if they just get out of their own way. And so just blessed and grateful. Thank you for this program very much.
Well, I just want to thank you. I love that when you purchased, you didn't purchase just to get rich quick scheme. You purchased as a student and you
Yes,
became that student and you applied everything. And that's why you've made 600,000 plus. And I'm very proud of you. And I love how you've grown and now have your own community and are mentoring other
businesses.
people. And you have that vision now of impacting, you go from negative $6 in the bank account to now have a vision of impacting 1,000 people's lives. Like that is so cool. That's what
Yes.
this program is all about.
It is, and I was intentional because when I joined, I was like, I've got to make it work.
Yeah.
I've got to make it because I didn't have nothing. I got to make it work, and so I became intentional, and I realized that when you become intentional, everything is there. Everything that you need is right there in the training, and if you just show up, be consistent, be coachable, and don't quit, you're you're going to hit your spot, and you're only
Yeah.
going to get better each and every day. So just grateful. This is the best place to be, guys. I can't even imagine where I would be at if I wasn't. I don't even know where I'd be at if I'm being honest. Like, had I not
Scary
seen,
thought, isn't it?
it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. Ah, love it. Ooh.